again, I mean, very different from what I have been. I mean, I work in a startup industry, get to interact with many startups in my day-to-day life, but quite innovative ideas. I mean, we in fact, the team had organized some interesting tours for us, industry visits for us in the Bay Area, and all the concepts were very, very new to me. So most of them were like absolutely new things that I got to see over there.
It was absolutely an eye-opener. The whole experiencing of visiting startups and understanding how they are actually looking at world in a very different perspective really made us think of how we should actually be able to do something to contribute on the same lines. It was a fabulous visit, and it was something which actually changed the perspective for every individual or everybody in the group.
Talking about the industry visits, I think they were one of the biggest eye-openers for all of us. The fact that there is so much happening out there that we are not even aware of, the ability to soak in a little bit of what it feels like to be in the valley, to see the potential of how things can transform or how quickly things can transform or the scale at which things can transform. I think they were phenomenal eye-openers.
Having heard so much about Valley and how things progress in Valley and the way startups happen in Valley, I think it was a very interesting experience to be able to visit some of those. And I think plug and play centers that we visited, that gave a big boost to a lot of us that there's a lot that can be achieved, right? It's just one has to be brave enough to step out, and there are people who are ready to help. And then a manifestation of that is when you visit some of the companies, Airware or any other company that we went to, Meditech, you visit them and you see that yes, they had a thought, they had an idea, and they were brave enough to venture out with that. And today they are real companies with people that they employ, with customers that they have, and markets that they service. I think very, very enriching experience, boost to our confidence that if we have the willpower to do something, there is a lot of infrastructure available. And Silicon Valley is like the mecca of startups, so what better to see people in action there. So it was a very, very enriching experience for me.
That was really wonderful. That was one of the best experiences that we actually had. We all have understood and have learned about and read about a lot of things about what is it to be in the Bay Area, how startups are actually happening. We got to meet several people, and several people had very wonderful interactions with them. And I'm sure in my batch, several of the people are actually pursuing several of those interests and trying to learn, continuing to learn several from those interactions and putting into use.
Outstanding experience. We have visited 3 to 4 different startups and never thought about those ideas ever. And the way they have generated the business idea, they have implemented, and now they're planning the next level has been amazing. Very happy with that.
So we visited quite a few startups. The fundamental shift which I saw in the approach was they didn't talk much about the solution per se, but they spoke at length about the customer problem they are solving. Now, so much of focus on the pain point is actually itself a strategy which I'm new to, because we are used to focusing on solutions and not so much on the customer pain points. So the amount of passion these guys had and the amount of insights these guys had on the specific customer problem they're solving was pretty astounding, and really it's a great learning thing for all of us.
The other part is that I also realized that its ideas is not important. The operations are equally important. In India, we keep on thinking, putting a lot of weight on ideas. I think what I learned in Berkeley in those 7-8 days and visiting to the campuses is that the people are not only thinking about ideas, the genuinity of the ideas are getting translated into real life market success. I think that journey is very important.